From the 1st of March, FIDE will meet with the most extensive reforms in recent times. The coefficients for rating games will be changed. The calculation of games with a difference of more than 400 rating points will be changed. The rating below 2000 will be compressed. The rating below 400 will no longer exist. Let's get everything in order. FIDE has been facing with a rating deflation for the last years. We usually don't use this term. We are used to inflation, like the rise of food prices in a shop. But the opposite is true for players' ratings. If we compare the ratings of the participants of the chess tournaments in the world, it is obvious that the players' ratings are decreasing by 25 points per year. So, if you constantly play chess at the same level, your rating will go down by 100 points in 4 years. Growing slowly with such deflation is like swimming against the rapid river flow. The reason for this is that the chess world welcomes a large number of beginners and capable players who initially receive a low rating. However, as they learn and grow, their FIDE rating rises. It grows at the expense of players who have been in the chess world for a long time. The new generation takes away the rating from the old one. This is the cause of deflation. Adult amateur chess players hate playing with the kids. The rating of a growing player is almost always lower than his actual level of play. Playing with such an amateur player will definitely result in a loss of rating. An upcoming game with a rising, low-rated player is like a poker hand in which probability theory predicts a loss. But you can't fold. The FIDE leadership is aware about this fact and will introduce changes from 2024 that will lead to the opposite problem, i.e. inflation. The most noticeable change in the ranking list will occur on the 1st of March 2024. The initial rating will rise from 1000 points to 400. Thus, ratings below 400 will no longer exist. At the moment, FIDE assumes 3-digit ratings, but does not display them. Now ratings below 1400 will not be displayed. Many people may think that the current ratings of players below 1400 will disappear. Not at all, they will not disappear. On the contrary, they will go up. The rating scale will be compressed. In other words, it will be deformed. The right border at 2000 will not change, and the left one will be compressed from 1000 points to 400. Players with a rating of 1000 will obtain a rating of 400. Players with a rating of 1200 will obtain a rating of 1520. Rating changes closer to 2000 will become negligible. FIDE also established a rule for assigning ratings to the new players. Previously, a rating could be obtained on the basis of 5 games played with other rated players. However, what to do in cases where a player won all 5 games? Such a level can be demonstrated by a world champion, as well as by a weak player who had been very lucky 5 times. Also, what initial ratings deserves a player who lost 5 games? Such a result can be shown by an absolute beginner, and also by an average player who had a bad day. Therefore, we'll add 2 draws with 2 virtual players with a FIDE ratings of 1800 to the 5 games. Thus, in case of 100% score and in the case of a fiasco, each beginner after 5 played games will get a rating in the range from 1400 to 2200 points. Changes have also been made to the K factor. As soon as a new player has received this rating, it represents his strength, which he has shown at past tournaments. However, chess players perform differently in different competitions, and the recently received rating doesn't not always correspond to the real strength of the player, which would be average after playing in several competitions. The key factor shows how big are the rating changes after each game. Now, for adult players who have played less than 30 games and for children under 80 years old, those rating is below 2300, the K factor will be 40. That is, the rating will change drastically. It is possible to gain or lose more than 100 points per tournament. Adult players who have played 30 games but have not reached a rating of 2400 will have a K factor of 20. Thus, their rating will change twice less. For players whose rating steps over the line of 2400 points, K-factor will be equal to 10. Their rating changes very slowly. Thus, players above 2000 will not feel any changes. And low-rated players can cash in a large number of rating points. This is a present for us from FIDE.